couple of decisions are easy. And I think there's at least 3 easy decisions. Do you want to guess what my 3 easy decisions are? For first team.
For first team. So is it easy for you to say Jokic over Embiid?
That's not one of them.
Okay. So is it easy?
It's funny. That's the first thing that you thought of. No, I think there are 3 easy decisions. That's not one of them.
Okay. Then I think Tatum being on your first team is one easy decision.
Wow. You've named the 2 that are not easy decisions.
So Durant, Steph, and Luka are your easy decisions. Okay.
No.
I'm lost then. What do you got?
Giannis, Luka, and Steph.
Okay. So
no-brainers.
So
absolutely
Giannis,
no-brainers.
Luka, and Steph.
Yes. Let's just go.
Go ahead.
Well, no, you said what you were going to say, and then I'll go through.
I have Giannis on my second team.
That's insane.
So the other tiebreaker I have, Mr. Jonathan Cleaning the Glass Macri, is analytics. Kevin Durant is in the top 5 of all of the basic analytics. He's averaging 32 points a game. He's tied Michael Jordan as the only 2 non-Wilt players to score 26 points in a game in the first 16 games of an NBA season.
Yep.
And Giannis, if you go to the advanced metrics, especially when you go to win shares, is 24th in win shares compared to Durant, who is 5th. If you're going through the tiebreaker of analytics, then that would be it. If you want to go to team performance, fine. Giannis's team is the number 1 seed or the number 2 seed in the East through 15 games, and Durant's is not. But as Durant just said, he's got Royce O'Neal and Ed Subner and all these other scrubs on his team. So if that's your tiebreaker, that's fine.
So look, everybody, we went through this last year. This should not be news to anyone. Everybody has different qualifications for this stuff. There is no, the NBA doesn't put out a form for this is what you should consider for all NBA, or this is what you should consider for, MVP or any of those sorts of things. I get all that. And that's fine. Whatever. In no universe am I, if all things being pretty equal and with all due respect to is Durant more efficient than Giannis? Absolutely. Sure. He is this season. But they're both in the group of the top 5 or 6 guys in the NBA. So again, that's what I mean when I say all things being equal. You have one guy who is literally the model, with the exception of maybe Steph. You have one guy who is maybe the literal model teammate in, the NBA right now, and another guy who is still actively trying to blow up his team. Not even a conversation for me. And I think when you throw in the fact that Giannis is maybe the best defensive player in the sport right now, I think that has to factor in. He is first in the league in usage. He is he's tied Luka Doncic. Kevin Durant is 7th, but the difference between those two guys, 38.5 for Giannis and Luka. Durant is at 32.5. Giannis has the best individual defensive rating in the league, 100.5. Kevin Durant's, so when you look at Durant, just going by cleaning the glass, on-off stuff, you want to guess how much better the Nets are on defense when Durant sits his ass on the bench?
I looked at this, but
I have it up right now. So
you can just tell me. Yeah, just tell us.
They are 7.8 points per 100 possessions worse, which is roughly the difference between a top 5 defense and a bottom 5 defense. So they fall apart when he's on the floor defensively, and they get much, much better defensively when he's off. Now, obviously, it goes without saying, offensively, as he said himself the other day, he's everything. They're 13.6 points per 100 possessions better when he is on the floor. But when you, again, when we're picking nits, when we're talking about, this isn't my whole diatribe here isn't to say that Giannis Antetokounmpo Kevin Durant's a bad player, but when we're talking first team All NBA, it's Giannis. It has to be Giannis. It has to be Giannis for on-court reasons. It's Giannis for off-court reasons. It's Giannis.
I hear you on the defense, and I hear you on the better. More people will want to be on Giannis's team than Kevin Durant's team.
Oh, yeah, and that's not even. And look, let's if you want to go by just regular old counting stats. Giannis is averaging 29.9 points in 32.5 minutes. Kevin Durant's averaging 30.6 in 36.7 minutes. They're 7th and 8th in the league in scoring. Giannis is averaging nearly twice as many rebounds as Kevin Durant, and he's averaging more assists. It's like, and then by the sum total, the Nets, they're a dead even team when Durant plays. And I get it. He doesn't have Giannis' teammates. Fine, whatever. Giannis is missing an all-star this year, and that team has not skipped a beat. And I know Durant's also. I don't want to have who Kevin Durant's missing too. But again, that gets into a whole host of other conversations because who is Kevin Durant's handpicked teammate? Yeah. It's like if you want to put Durant on second team. Well, I don't know that I want to put Durant on second team. Oh, okay. Let's just do this. Let's do this one team. Then it's crazy talk because I think it's a first or second team. I hear you on the forward splitting. If you want to, there are 3 forwards for first team for me. It's Giannis, Tatum, and Durant. Durant kept showing up right behind Luka and Steph on all of the advanced metrics lists. Like he's 3rd in win shares, 3rd in VORP, 3rd in per, all of the above. And and Jokic kept showing up in those. It was like basically those 4 that kept showing up. And then you get to Giannis, and it's like he's Giannis. Like he's a freak of nature. Of course, he probably should be there over Durant. I wanted to reward the fact that even despite being a terrible teammate and amongst the turmoil of the Brooklyn Nets season, he's having a historically great season. But that's also the tough part about the beginning of this season. There's 7 guys averaging 30 points a game. Like we're splitting hairs at a certain point. You might want to rethink how good of a lawyer you were, John. That was actually very convincing. I think I might actually want to swap this up and put Giannis over Durant on my first team. But by contrast, a functional alcoholic who graduated from Little Sisters of the Poor law school could make the case for Luka Doncic's All-NBA first team case. I mean, we could just read some things. First in win shares per 48 minutes, first in PER, even though I think that's a stupid stat. That said, he's at 33.1 PER. Steph Curry is next up at 30.4. So the gap between him and Steph is the same as the gap between Steph and again, this is a flawed stat, but the gap between Steph and the 7th place Kevin Durant. He's just lapping the field in everything. He's leading the league in scoring. He's averaging 9 rebounds and 8 assists, only 3.2 turnovers. I don't know that we need to speak much more on Luka Doncic. Anything else you want to say? Who would you have as the first guard? Oh, him or Steph? That's a great question. Because these are the 2 for me. Like I went into this being like, does SGA and Donovan Mitchell have a chance? And the more you dig at the numbers, no. But who's the first guard? So, and again, different sites calculate usage a little bit differently. Like on Cleaning the Glass, Luka's ahead of Giannis, but like those 2 are far and away the top guys. The only thing that Steph doesn't give you that those other guys do is he's not in that like otherworldly stratosphere of usage. That's the only knock on him. Like, what do you call it? Dallas's offense is it's Luka Doncic. That's the offense. Steph is 31.2 usage rate, which like sounds pretty high, and it is high, but like for point guards, it's in like the 68th percentile. So it's, right at the 2/3 mark. That's not a massive knock on him. It is in fact the only knock on him, because if you look at his, I guess this isn't a real number, Andrew. His points per 100 shot attempts. Mm-hmm. It's at 145.3. I got to be honest. I lean Steph here, but I know what the usage says. He's got Luka's at 38 and Steph is at 31 for usage, right? Like, yeah, and that's hold on, one more just on the points per 100 shot attempts thing, because I think we really need to hammer home how ridiculous that is. 145. Nikola Jokic, who is a center, and is maybe the most efficient center we've seen since Shaq. Although Shaq had the free throw shooting, Jokic could shoot free throws. He's at 137.1. And like in a normal year, that would be far and away the best, because the next guy after Jokic in terms of efficiency, it's Donovan Mitchell and Kevin Durant, who are tied at 131. And then like everybody else is below those dudes. Like if you're in the high 120s as a guard, like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, we're all going crazy about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's going to come up in a second. He's at 129.5. That's in the 97th percentile for efficiency for guards. And Steph Curry's annihilating him in terms of overall, like what he's doing for the Warriors this year. I know they're struggling. It's not his fault at all.
It's literally not his fault. Clay's shooting 39% from the field. There's something stupid, something really low like that. I've already started digging into my Warriors notes for tonight's game. So
Steph's 1, Luka's 2 for you.
I would have Steph 1. So Steph, their effective field goal percentage, there are 4 other guys higher than him in effective field goal percentage for the league that qualify. And they're all averaging less than 10 field goal attempts per game. And they're just really good at shooting threes. Kevin Huerter is one of them. Steph is averaging more 3-point field goal attempts than Kevin Huerter's field goal attempts for the season. And Steph is averaging, he's shooting 45% from 3 on 12 attempts a game. Like, it's fake numbers. The things that the Warriors do and why the Warriors are off to a 6-9 start are more like organizational malpractice that they haven't been able to capitalize on. Steph having arguably his best season